Welcome everyone to another episode of Slayer Talk, covering episodes 7 and 8, Lie to Me and the Dark Age. So I'm not sure whether we're going to split these up or it's going to be a combined episode. We're kind of going to edit this towards the end of the season and we're going to release them over a certain amount of time. So how's everyone doing?
Great.
Really good.
It always goes a bit like, well, the camera's on now, doesn't it?
Yeah. Got nothing.
Who, me?
I got nothing.
Yeah. So, Jess, can you tell me a little bit about Lie to Me, please?
So this episode aired in November 3rd, 1997, is written and directed by Joss Whedon. So this is his baby. And the episode is with an old friend of Buffy comes to town, Billy Fordham. And there's also a little bit of confusion with Angel's past that's going on. So a little rocking of their relationship. And there's something iffy about this Ford guy, and going to find out what it is.
So what are your kind of general thoughts about this? What do you guys think in terms of, did you enjoy it or?
Go ahead.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it. Did you guys like it?
Yeah, I think I prefer Lie to Me than Dark Age, but that's kind of getting ahead of things. But
Yep.
I really like this for some cheesy reasons. And we'll go into detail,
Sure.
But yeah, especially the kind of, it's a very cliched observational thing where a character sees their boyfriend or someone they think they're in a relationship with another girl or another boy or whatever, and projecting like the worst thing, in terms of relationship between them. But I really dug that episode in the park, especially with a little boy who's like waiting for his mum to pick him up, and it's quite obviously midnight.
Yeah, that's what I meant too.
She's gone to the 7-Eleven. You've got no chance. That's what was going through my head. I had this little tangent of story where his mother was.
It's funny. I
really
did the
funny.
same thing, but I just assumed that she was never coming back.
Yeah. Like when your dad goes out for cigarettes, right? And like never returns. It's like, because you'd have to know by now, whatever cognitive dissonance the residents of Sunnydale have, there's no way you're leaving your kid alone in a playground in the middle of the
Yeah.
night.
Oh my god!
Yeah.
She was trying to off this kid.
That's right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
She's going to be very disappointed.
Yeah.
I agree.
Dang it.
That scene was so good. It was
So good.
perfectly creepy. The atmosphere was great. Drusilla was just fantastic.
And the kid was great. I thought the kid was great.
And
Yeah.
do we all remember the best line that she comes up with?
Which
No.
one?
She says, "What will your mummy say when they find your body?"
But I love the kid doesn't even just like,
Acknowledge it.
my mom said I shouldn't talk to strangers. I'm like, that's your reaction to the fact that she's saying she's going to kill you?
If this was
Okay.
if this was an R-rated episode, you'd see like a pool of pee at the bottom of his trousers.
Yeah.
Oh, I loved it. I was cracking up because I didn't realize she was. I did check for, because of her surname, Landau, the actress's name. I just went on to an IMDb kind of tangent with her, and I didn't realize she was from the UK. I thought it was a really poor Cockney accent.
Really?
Oh, I thought it was fake.
One of the real ones.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I met her in real life and she doesn't have an accent.
You met her in real life. I
Was
forgot.
it?
At a fan expo. She was there to like take photos. So
Really? What
Yeah.
was it like? Was she like?
yeah, she seemed nice. She was like, it was like a weird time in fan expo before everything was like paid. So she just had like a booth and you could just walk up to her and there was no line, which was weird. And she was just like, if you want a picture, you just got to donate $5. I can't remember what the cause was. And I was like, sure, no problem. And yeah,
Now
she
it's
seemed
all
really
a
nice.
it's all a machine now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, it's all like I don't know. Everybody goes to conventions now, so the lineups are like 3 hours long for everybody, and you have to pay like $200 to see whoever. So it was just kind of weird, but yeah, she seemed really nice. So
That's neat.
Yeah, I really liked her in the intro. I think
Oh, it's brilliant.
You know, they
it's
keep
so good.
developing her weirdness compared to all the other vampires more and more, and it's so much
I love
fun.
it. I love the fact that she's just creepy, but she's also not well. It's kind of complicated, and she's frail at the same time. She's really interesting.
Now,
I liked if you
go
like.
ahead, Jess.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I was just gonna say I liked the fact that she says to Angel, and I didn't realize that this was like a theme throughout the show. I guess it's moving forward a bit, that she says she has no idea what's coming. And that's been said about Buffy, like later on in seasons, people keep saying about her. You have no idea like what's to come, like that over and over. The people who can kind of sense the future always say that about her. So I didn't realize this was the first time someone did that.
Neat. That's really cool.
But yeah, a very cool, very sinister opening. The coincidence, because I said that Michael would appear instead of Jess when we came back before, because we had some technical difficulties. A really strange thing happened where I looked up the actress. I can't remember her first name, but I think it's Landau. And I thought, oh, is there a chance she's related to Martin Landau, the famous actor?
Right.
So when I looked her up, I looked at her credits, and it said something about being in Sofia Coppola's Marie Antoinette. And when I read that word, Cordelia says it in the classroom at that moment. I was like, "What?"
Oh my!
So
Wild.
I was looking out. I was looking outside to see if planets had aligned or something. So yeah, it's a strange one today. I must put some money on the lottery or something.
Yeah, I was going to ask you which ticket I should buy.
Yeah.
Actually, seriously, if you have any recommendations. But sorry, guys. Yeah, it was a brilliant opening for sure.
Yeah, I liked it, but I also it's funny when their relationship with like Angel and Buffy is they kind of try to like put off the creepiness by being like, well, she's older than her age, because of everything she's been through. But then she pulls like the most teenager of teenage moves, which is like, I'm mad at you, but I'm not going to tell you why or what's happened or give you a chance to explain yourself.
Yeah. Although
he didn't and be sad.
Yeah.
Yeah, they have some problems with their relationship right from the very beginning that they don't really ever sort out. They're not the greatest communicators.
No.
But such good lovers. Sorry. Sorry.
So the new character that's introduced, is it established it's an old boyfriend or just a good friend of Buffy?
I got good friend.
Good friend. She said he was her fifth grade crush, but they never. But he was older than her, so they never really did anything about that. So somebody just from her past.
Do you know I was
from
playing?
Memory.
I was playing Buffy the Vampire Slayer bingo. When I saw that guy, I thought, right, cannon fodder. he's a goner. He's
from I guess probably
Roswell.
Roswell, yeah, he's from Roswell. He's Max. I was like, hey, it's Max from Roswell.
Wow.
Yeah.
I used to watch that show, not because it was that good, but because I read the books. There's like a 10-book series from that time, and I really like the books. So I watched the show, and I just was sitting there going, the books are better. But I still watched it.
I found Ford to be good, but he obviously had an agenda. Like even right from the very beginning, the way he dealt with everybody was just super obvious that he had more going on than he was saying. And I don't know if it was because he was Buffy's friend from before that she didn't catch on.
Right.
But the fact that everybody else around her did and she didn't was just, and then she denied it, all of it. Like, oh, you guys are bad for, looking in on him or trying to be protective of me.
Yeah.
But whatever.
I questioned his sweater vest. I was like, I don't trust this guy.
Yeah.
I think it was an orange V-neck sweater vest with no arms.
There's a lot of good humor in this. The I touch myself thing with Buffy.
Oh, that was like really on the
That's what that song is about.
Wait, you shouldn't hear that.
It was good. I love how she just paused and was like, I don't know.
What's that brilliant?
It's so, in fact, she looks really concerned and you don't know
why. What's going on with Willow?
Yeah.
That was so good.
Yeah.
And I still notice, I'm like, Xander, like, oh my God, still with like, as soon as the guy shows up, he like a cat with his back arched. I'm like, dude, like, seriously, calm down.
Does he calm down? Does he eventually stop doing that?
I think so. I think so, because I'm like totally like I like adored Xander and I like thought he was like the best. And I feel like that's because later on he is really good.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I don't remember this aspect. Maybe it's just because it was so normalized in the 90s and 2000s to have guys chase women like forever until they like caved. I don't know, but
I think they wait until after high school, and that's when Xander starts dropping the high school behavior.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Probably.
So, but I did really like his line when Willow tells him that that her and Angel are having problems, and he says it gives me a happy.
Yeah. Michael was watching with me and he's like, it gives me a what now? I was like, yeah, that does sound a little dirty.
that was funny. I laughed.
That's brilliant. That's so yeah, there's a couple of observational things I spotted. One in the school, I think it was just Ford when he arrived. There's a poster called "Widespread Panic."
Yes.
And I'm like, what does that even mean?
I love that because it was right when Willow was freaking out about because she couldn't lie to Buffy. So here she is being all agitated, and then right behind Buffy it just says widespread panic.
Oh, I didn't notice that was the moment.
There is a band called Widespread Panic, but I think the band came afterwards. So I would bet that they were inspired by the poster.
Wow, you never know. Yeah. Willow was brilliant. Yeah, that moment too. That was so good. Where she was all kerfuffled.
I know we keep kind of waxing lyrical about her, but consistently outstanding. Just consistently outstanding.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So great. I loved her in her little PJs and her little bunny slippers or whatever.
So cute.
Oh
cute.
my god, yeah.
Was that this episode?
Was that this episode? Was it? Yeah, it was because they were doing the research on the computer about Ford.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That whole moment was amazing.
And it's really good because if for the future, what a contrast, like innocence, the Willow's innocence. Yeah. I'm not allowed to have boys in my room or whatever. Yeah, it was really cute.
Yeah.
And then Xander gets mad at her later. He was in your room? Like,
yeah.
Oh, and that when she says ours is a forbidden love. So good.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Like that. Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah, I have that here. Yeah,
it's moments like that humor and how a character develops it. You could have easily seen a spin-off show with her leading it.
Yeah.
Really could have really easily.
That's true.
So yeah, I spotted some. I don't know if you spotted some new additions to the bronze in terms of this, because I'm always about sets expanding and how they, because I'm always kind of talking about that. I kind of love that kind of detail. I don't remember a pool table.
Huh.
I think there was one because remember the dream that Xander has about saving Buffy. He breaks a pool cue, isn't it that? And stakes the vampire?
In the first season when Buffy first learns about Angel and they have their fight in the bronze, Darla jumps on the pool table.
Okay.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
And there's a whole like action backwards slide thing with the guns.
Oh, great.
On the pool table.
Like, you guys are like computers. Wow.
And in that same moment where Buffy's talking to Angel about what happened last night and all of that, there was like pastries and popcorn and other types of food on the counter. Like, I don't remember that.
Yeah,
No.
I don't remember if that's just like some sort of new addition. I thought it was like a bowling alley or something.
I think they slowly realize that it's weird for a bunch of 16-year-olds to be hanging around a bar all the time.
Yeah.
So that was their attempt at making it seem normal.
Or like more like a coffee house or like concession stand.
Only in the evening with security at the door and live music. So
they didn't mention Cordy says it's an all ages club, so they'll let anybody in. I think that's why. So they probably don't serve alcohol.
Yeah,
they served alcohol at the all ages clubs I was going to.
I think you get a wristband though, right? You get a wristband if you can drink or something like that.
Nice M on your hand.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah.
There were some inconsistencies that we noticed in this one, like why Buffy wouldn't question Ford, like how he knew about her being a Slayer.
Yeah, over and over.
It slipped through too easy, that didn't it?
Yeah.
And she was so happy that he knew, that she didn't ask why or how he knew.
And
it was just like, oh.
Yeah, like, And also he had a steak, like I don't know.
That steak came out of nowhere when they're walking outside of the school, and she has her bag with her, so she obviously has somewhere, but he pulls a steak out, and like, where was he hiding that in his person?
The other thing is, I thought that scene with the vampires in the school was a setup, because I was like, oh, he's a good actor because he's pretending to be a bad actor, because he's like, is that more vampires? Like, the way he said it was so terrible. And I was like, oh, this must be the setup where he's like setting her up. And then I was like, oh, wait, no, that wasn't a setup. Like, this is just really bad.
Yeah.
That's so good.
Agreed.
So terrible.
That's such a
Like,
good show.
what is
Such a
that?
good show.
He had moments of good acting. I think he like poured all of his good acting into those moments, and then the rest was not.
Yeah, it was kind of erratic. That's what
It's
I
funny
thought.
because in Roswell later on, he takes on kind of like the angel mode of like just like serious, mopey, angsty guy all the time. He never smiles, and everything's super serious, and like he just longs after the girl that he loves all the time. And yeah,
Wow.
he's just Angel as an alien, basically.
Interesting.
No,
I love that. Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just one of my favorite lines was Angel explaining in the goth club, the vampire club.
Oh my god.
That they
The
don't know
greatest
anything
club in the
about
world.
vampires, and then the guy dressed exactly like Angel. That was like.
Oh, what's the line? It's how they dress.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
this exact same outfit
Yeah.
by pseudo vampire fake.
So-
It's a beautiful moment. It's a beautiful
moment.
Yeah.
That club actually, although was a little weird.
Well, the proximity to the bronze.
Yeah, like right next door. But it's also, they kept saying like it's an old bomb shelter, which implies that they set up the club just for the purpose of what they were intending on doing, which was to capture everybody and have Buffy in there.
Right.
But it seemed like it was really well decorated for a club that was temporarily set up by somebody who just moved into town or close to that.
Especially the oil paintings.
Yeah, and like
yeah.
I used to go to goth clubs right around that time, mid 90s to the end of the 90s, and they actually did a stellar job of it. But like the club itself looked great and the music was perfect, but it was just weird to me that would be a temporary setup. Like Sunnydale is such a great goth scene that a bunch of people who aren't part of the plot found it and were hanging out. So
They rented it too. It wasn't like operated. He said like the lease is gonna be up. What are we gonna do? Da, 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 da.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I just loved. I couldn't complain after. But when he walked in and they had the badass music and he was strolling through and there was just a guy welding a door and I was like, what? I was like, oh, okay, it was foreshadowing. But I was just like, is this supposed to be like this is what badass clubs look like? Just random welders at the front. Like, okay.
I love that random guy standing in the coffin.
Oh,
And
I didn't see
he
that.
just
he
said,
said hi.
hi. Like,
Really?
watch for that guy. Watch for
I
that
did
guy.
not see that.
I was so great.
Which part of the club was
It was
he?
when
That was the first scene they were there, wasn't it?
It's when Angel and Xander and Willow go.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
That was
Yeah,
really
They're
creepy.
talking about
Yeah.
sticking out.
Oh, right.
I had a massive brain fart as well when you first see the club from the outside and you see the sun above the door. I thought, oh, this is vampire related, and I thought, oh, it's called Sunrise. What a terrible name for a vampire club, because the sunrise would kill the vampires. It was actually called Sunset.
Sunset, yeah.
Yeah.
Sunset Club.
I love that sign above. I love that above the door though. That was great.
That's true. Cool.
But yeah, love the Vampire Club. I loved it. Absolutely. There's so much of my kind of youth watching that. That was the place I went to.
Yeah.
Not necessarily goth clubs, but that's the kind of place I sought out. They're the kind of parties I went to.
Same here.
Yep.
Same here. Yeah.
Yeah,
So-
it's funny, even
And I
down to
still do.
the music, everybody drinking wine, all the outfits, even down to the vampire movies playing in the background on
Yeah.
television sets.
Yes.
That
Do you
was
guys
dead
know-
on.
Do you
There's a
guys
place
know
in
what
Manchester that you would all love that's
really?
so close to that place.
Ooh, everything's close to you. The zoo. Sorry. Say that.
It's like Sunnydale.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have all the things.
You guys know, speaking of that, there was a vampire movie in the
that he's quoting.
Yeah, what was it?
It's Dracula with Jack Palance.
Oh,
Thank you for that.
Yeah, but I it was like some sort of bad dubbing from an Asian action film when he was doing the voice. But yeah, it was just Dracula, and it was Jack Palance, or I can't remember how to pronounce it, from City Slickers.
Thank you.
Oh, really? Oh, I kind of wondered, did you guys ever watch, like, you know, everyone knows the show True Blood, but like, if you've ever read the books they're based on called like Charlene Harris, they're called the Sookie Stackhouse Mysteries.
No.
It's very much like this is, I wonder kind of if she watched Buffy, because this is very much kind of like established in their world that like there's vampire wannabes and they go to clubs like this and they kind of want to entice someone to turn them, and they're all kind of like lambs to the slaughter because they romanticize these vampires who are, you know, in the world, they're out in the open, but they kind of have publicity, really good publicity, so they make them seem like they're very nice and gentle, but they're actually just really bad. Most of them. But it's very similar to this. I kind of wonder if that's where what one of her inspirations was for it. Because
it's a really good idea. It's like,
yeah, it is, like, really,
especially the blonde girl, who, as far as I'm aware, she got bitten, right?
Everybody got bitten in that scene. Like they were all getting pretty. Like there was when the camera panned around, there was 3 or 4 people they showed getting bitten. But she comes back later on in the show in a couple.
Yeah, she does.
Okay.
Season 3, I think.
Yeah. And I can't remember if that. I laughed so hard when I first heard her name because I think they make fun of it when she comes back. But I remembered it wrong and put it into this episode because she calls herself Chanterelle, which is a mushroom.
Yeah, I think that we make fun of it later, that she thought she was trying to name herself after a mushroom or something.
Yeah.
But no, I really, really loved that place. I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah.
And it was just the oil paintings of, like, I think it was Charles II and a few other famous people, but it was like, this is really unusual. What is this place? And then obviously it's kind of uncovered, but like you say, it was really kind of a temporary space. But I'd have quite liked to, obviously this place doesn't come back, but I'd quite like to have seen that in another guise maybe or something. But yeah, it was a really, really nice idea. Really nice idea.
Yeah, that's good. I liked also when they showed up there, Xander kept giving Angel different nicknames.
Yeah. What did he call him? Dead Boy or
Dead Boy and Bossy the Cow.
Yeah.
And then he called him later Bossy the Cow because he told them what to do.
Yeah.
Such a petty jerk.
Oh, the way Angel put that girl in a place about vampires.
Oh yeah, I actually
that was so harsh.
I liked it though.
Yeah, that was pretty brutal.
How it is.
Oh, one thing I do have to bring up: when Angel was in the room with Willow, and they show him sit on her bed, his makeup is so overdone. He looks like a Twilight vampire.
Yeah,
he's like so much more pale and like
you kept
bright
saying
lips
that through the whole episode. Doesn't he look like Twilight?
It was really, really bad because they normally make him look kind of normal. Like he just looks like a guy who hasn't slept very well. And that scene was awful.
I think because he's not usually so well lit. He's always in the dark, like in the shadows. And this was like a bright bedroom, which we normally don't.
That bedroom is so bright.
Yeah.
Did she have a mobile on the? This is
it looked like the PlayStation symbols.
Yes.
The triangle, the circle, and
it was very weird.
I was like, where's that angle coming from? And there was a bracket on the wall. Yeah, I noticed that. It was really odd.
It's odd.
But it looked like a baby's monitor, didn't it?
A little bit. Is that the first time we saw Willow's bedroom, or am I possibly?
I think we've just seen the bed. I think it's been a limited set and now it's bigger. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, because the only time was last season, I think, when they killed all those people in the season finale and Buffy came over to comfort her. That's right. But it didn't look like that. I don't know.
You're right.
And I kept looking at the book stand in the corner going, why is there a huge light behind the book stand? I was like, that was just a production thing. Yeah, I don't like that. But it was far too bright. That room was far too bright. But it makes sense with her. It meant in terms of the character and, all light and innocent and all of that, it kind of makes complete sense.
Yeah, that really
Did it look that bright for you guys? Because I think you're watching the Amazon Prime version too, which I think is the widely hated HD up conversion. So I'm just wondering if the lighting was a bit different in yours.
I was watching on Disney Plus, but I think it's the same as the Amazon one.
Yeah, it's like the HD, the up conversion that everybody hated because they like did weird cuts with the camera to like make it widescreen and like they changed the lighting a lot. So I was just wondering if you guys noticed it as well, or
no, it was bright, but it didn't seem unnatural. It's funny because the DVDs, it's always amazing how grainy everything looks. You can tell when it was made because of the picture quality. It looked weird to me.
No, it looked okay.
Yeah,
except for Angel's
makeup, which was
great. Yeah. Did you guys notice Ford was like super pale? Was that on purpose, like because he's sick or something? Because I also noticed he looked like really white, like really pale.
I didn't notice that.
He was just practicing for being a vampire, wasn't
he? Maybe he doesn't get any sun just to add to the aesthetic. Yeah.
It's funny, as a not even against Angel, but when what's her name? Chanterelle calls them the lonely ones in the club.
Oh, right.
And Xander says we call them the nasty pokey bitey ones.
Yeah, I love that.
That was great.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Yeah, I really enjoyed this episode.
It was fun.
And I like the moral dilemma thing kind of at the end, like between Buffy and Ford and us, the audience, learning he's sick and yet her saying, well, two wrongs don't make it right, basically that idea. I like moral dilemma stuff, so I thought that was well done.
To me, I thought that was the sign. I mean, the clever dialogue is always good with Joss Whedon written stuff, but he usually tends to have some kind of a much deeper debate in most of the episodes he writes, and I thought that was excellent as well. You know, you get that, and the fact that Buffy was so like upset, she didn't really know what to do about any of it, and she fully said like, yeah, it's not fair, sorry, but it's not fair, like but that doesn't mean you can kill everybody, like it's I thought that was a great little moment.
He puts her through the ringer this episode too, because she had to really be confronted with like a lot of Angel's past, which she kind of knew in theory, but like him explaining it to her specifically the kind of stuff he pulled, she was like, oh.
Yeah, it's true.
I love Buffy's spider jump up to find
oh yes
in the club of the club. It's like,
oh yeah,
it's like $1 Million Man kind of jump, you know.
Slightly funny.
You expect that like stutter.
Yeah. The original sound from the 60s.
Oh my god, that's hilarious.
Oh, that would have been great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I'd love to do a horror comedy, but anyway, it's a whole other thing.
This might be a kind of a spoiler for the future episodes. Is it explained why Dahlia's so kind of weak? Have I missed something on that already? Or
I think she got attacked by a mob in Prague. And apparently
Angel did that, right? Or was
no,
that was
her as a vampire got attacked.
Oh,
but it's funny. We were talking about that.
He made her sick.
Angel bit her.
Made her crazy.
He made her crazy, but I thought
he bit her after.
Yeah, he made her sick and crazy, I think.
I don't know. I'm not sure.
I think it's I think she went crazy, and then he bit her. That's how
that's what I think.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but I don't think that's what caused the weakness. I think she got attacked, and according to the Watchers, they thought she had died. So I guess she got pretty close, and that weakened her. Okay. So now she's not like full strength right now.
I really love her character. Love it.
Same here. I have something here about.
We have 9 minutes, by the way.
Oh shoot. Yeah, birdcage stuff. You'll know what you know.
Oh, right, the bird that she was singing to.
Like it reminded me of Monty Python, you know.
I was thinking, I was like, this would be a great scene, except all I could think was, hello, Polly.
One of my favorite Monty Pythons. Yeah.
Yeah, that was great. Even Spike with that scene was so good.
Yeah.
Where he just like he's trying to be nice, and then he gets frustrated, and just when she's not cooperating, it's dead. You didn't feed it, and now it's dead, just like the last one.
The last sentence.
Oh, that was awesome.
It's like how many birds have they gone through? And then she she whines like a toddler, like.
Yeah.
Like, oh, I'm sorry.
That was
what was I
good.
gonna say?
But yeah, overall, I thought the episode was great.
Yeah,
It was fun.
I
It
like
was a
the
really
growing.
fun one. Yeah.
I like the growing up message at the end, or theme of Buffy lie to me, and then what Giles and Buffy interaction at the very end. I thought Buffy's finally growing up and questioning how unfair life can be. But it was really great dialogue, great ending. We thought the ending was like,
Yeah.
It was cute. Yeah, he's like, yeah, everything's sunshine and rainbows.
We're very strong.
Yeah.
I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cute.
That evil will always be identified by their pointy horns and black hats.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's just like, liar.
Yeah.
Even that, the fact that they had that not on camera, like it was during the credits had already started when she says that, was so good.
Yeah. Great.
And Ford lasted what, all of 5 seconds as a vampire.
Yeah, that's true.
She did say though that she was going to kill him herself. So.
Yep. Well, it was
So,
good.
Jess, do we have any stats on this?
Oh yeah, so the death count for this episode was 2 vampires. 3 actually, okay, Ford died twice. Counts for 2. Ford died, and then his demon died, and then 2 vampires with no names, and Drusilla's bird, which is R.I.P.
Is that the first official bird death?
Yes, I think so. We've got 1 pig, a bird. I heard there's 1 more. Oh, a cockroach killed by Willow in the bronze.
We don't know if they ever did anything about the hyenas. If they just left them or not.
Right.
One thing I totally forgot to talk about was finally we get to see a group of people that know what's going on in Sunnydale in terms of the vampire appreciation people.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's really great to see. I really really
it's funny.
appreciated that. Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah,
you get a
I
whole
did.
bunch of people who just know that they're real.
Yeah. It's interesting.
They know they're real, but they haven't really encountered any of them because obviously they would have left ages ago. Oh,
Yeah.
and that club, in terms of Spike being locked in, the perfect opportunity to kill a huge bunch of vampires.
Yeah.
Missed opportunity there.
Yeah.
I guess they figured it would be too risky.
Yeah.
But yeah, they definitely could have. I'm
I'd
just thinking of the guy. I can't get over the guy's cape.
Oh, I hated that.
I love that they pointed out how tacky that was.
Yeah.
Yeah, in her middle of like, you're all gonna die, she stops and goes, your outfit is ridiculous.
I love that. That's my kind of humor. I love it.
Yeah, it was funny too. Also, I kind of like that. Ford tries to play it cool the whole episode, and then when he finally meets Spike, he just starts fanboying like a little kid.
Yeah.
Say the line. Say the line. You have to say it.
Yeah. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Cool. He's like such a dork.
Oh, and that Spike's retort to that, I've known you for 2 minutes and I can't stand you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's really good.
that's perfect.
Oh,
Security. What are we doing about this? The security.
Great.
No. I look at one time you're kind of on Spike's side. You're like, yeah, you should kill this guy. Just
Yeah.
just off him. I'm good.
Yeah.
He is annoying.
It is that kind of the acquired knowledge about how to kind of act around vampires and that kind of thing. I was like, yeah, this guy just needs to get killed now.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually wonder if Spike and that crew had anything to do with Buffy being able to take care of him afterwards so fast, because I was surprised that they still turned him into a vampire after that.
Yeah.
That they honored their side of the bargain, even though he trapped them. That Buffy got away, but he still managed to get her in there. But they still turned him into a vampire, even though they didn't like him.
Yeah.
I figured it was less to do with like honoring the bargain and more as like a super like F you to Buffy. Like either maybe he'll get a good hit in, or just like I'm gonna, at least it'll bug you, so I'm gonna do it.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah.
Did any humans die? Or
I think so. No, they all got free. They got bitten, but I think they're all okay. So
that was the other weird thing, is that Ford apparently just moved there, and yet we don't know anything about his family, but he had a plot. He was buried in the Sunnydale Cemetery very quickly. Like that must have been like that same day or the next day.
Yeah, it was fast.
Yeah, they got a sale on tombstones in the place. Actually, no, you wouldn't have a sale on, would you? You'd be the other way around.
I do wonder, like, did they not have morticians in Sunnydale? Because I'm imagining the embalming process would kind of.
Ask the guy in that coffin.
They've shown like they've actually shown the morgues and they've had previous episodes.
Right.
The
and that must be a real morgue, by the way. That speaking of sets, that must be
has to be real because that was too good.
Yeah.
The one with the office door they couldn't barricade properly.
I just don't they like kind of like, you know, embalm you when they bury you?
Yeah.
So how does that work with vampirism? Like you just recover from being embalmed?
A really stiff vampire? I'm not sure.
It's like maybe. I don't know. Maybe they're in on it. Maybe the funeral directors are in on it. They just know
kickbacks or something.
Yeah. Oh, this one's got bites on his neck. I'll just leave it alone.
Yeah, because how long does it take for him to turn to vampire? Because obviously he's buried. He's got a suit on as well.
Yeah.
So like,
it's the next night, isn't it? Usually, don't they rise on the next evening?
I think it is supposed to be the next evening, but I don't know if they've established that yet.
Because that one guy, remember the guy in the bus crash, the crazy guy that they thought was the.
Yes, you're right.
He woke up in the morgue.
That's right.
The following night after the accident. So
that's
pretty fast.
Yeah, that's fast. Wasn't that fast for me? Oh.